champions, and welcome back to What's My Role episode 20. We're a group of adventurers exploring the many realms of World of Warcraft and MMOs, sharing our experiences, learning our roles together, and embracing the chaos. I'm your tank Bean, joined today by Donnix.
Hey.
GT Goat.
Hello.
And Golden.
Howdy, howdy.
And today we're talking about our reactions and experiences with the Mists of Pandaria remix and our adventure Timewalking in Ulduar last week. Channel updates. Our streams are going really good. We're actually getting we've probably got 4 or 5 different kind of people that jump in and kind of consistently say something. So that's really nice. Friday and Saturday nights, if you want to hang out with us, we're there. Today's a Tuesday evening, so we are now trying out recording the podcasts on reset days so we can kind of discuss our full week in WoW and also our vaults and any other type of shit like that. What else? We might have 9 now, possibly. I know Donnix said you were kind of recruited somebody, maybe.
Yeah, I'm working on them.
Yeah, so we might have 9, and then also I do have my son has installed WoW. He has started leveling a warlock. I told him if he reaches 20, I'll buy him a sub, let him, reach max level, and then maybe we'll have another there too.
That's what's up.
Hell yeah. The only thing I wanted to bring up is something that Vane shared earlier. Coming in War Within, you can hide your pants in your transmog.
Hell yeah. It's about time. It's about time.
Sometimes you just want to wear shorts, right? Come on.
Yeah, I was about to quit. I was going to quit. I was going to announce it in this podcast, but now I changed my mind.
Other than that, nothing really too much going on. There's a lot of... I can't really discuss exactly what changes are and aren't coming with Remix because it's so new and they are just kind of willy-nilly making, blue posts and changing this and changing that. So we'll see where it goes. And they're
doing hot fixes about every other day.
Yeah, so I don't think it's stable enough for us to even comment on changes that are coming and going. And there's a new short story about Anduin by Christy Golden, who I guess has recently left Blizzard, so maybe this is her last thing with them. I haven't read it. I'm gonna try and read it. I think it's I don't know how long it is, but it's a short story. Couldn't be that long. So I guess we'll talk about the time walking first, and then we'll jump into the Pandaria stuff. What'd you guys think of Ulduar?
I think it felt easier. Ulduar felt a lot easier than doing what raid was that from BC that we did?
Black Temple.
Black Temple, yeah. Right? Am I wrong? I felt like it was a lot more punishing in Black Temple, if you didn't know. Not that the mechanics were crazy, but just that it felt punishing if you didn't know it or didn't get it.
Yeah,
so it was fun.
It to be tougher, but
yeah I did too.
Pretty easy.
Well, there was times that we'd be running to the next boss, and by the time we got there, the boss would be almost halfway dead.
Oh yeah, it was. And then there was a couple times where people just kind of got locked out of boss fights too. So it was. I expected it to be harder because of mechanics, but the DPS was so crazy that we couldn't even pay attention to the mechanics. Really, it was just it was too much. The whole tank fight thing in the beginning with the vehicles and stuff. That was pretty cool. It was confusing, though.
I actually really like that part. I know we had some people in the group who was complaining the whole time. Or what I would say is one person, Vane. Vane did not like it at all.
Yeah, I remember.
Tanks.
Yeah. Am I playing what? Yeah.
Has any of us played or done Ulduar when it was originally a raid? You did, Donnix?
Long time ago, yeah.
Donnix did, yeah.
When it was current content.
Yeah, when it was current. It was a lot harder. A lot harder.
Yeah.
Those mechanics are not if one person screws up, it could be a wipe. Just one person.
Wow. And did you do it a
Especially,
bunch
like,
or just a
on
little?
the tank. Like if people weren't getting away from the Leviathan, like when it was chasing you, it would just mow people down. Like
Yeah.
you had to be on top of it.
I tried to like look at a couple videos before we started just in case it was difficult, but it never really came into play. There was even one boss where I was like, I know the mechanic for this guy. And it involves like that guy with like the lava or the magma bucket on his chest.
Yeah, the stacks on the trash. Yeah.
Yeah, he makes like some sort of ad that you're supposed to get 10 stacks in the fire and then you bring it to the water and then you can shatter it.
Yeah.
But while I was trying to do that, the boss was just being DPS to hell, and
Yeah.
I didn't even get to do the mechanic as the tank that I wanted to.
Yeah. I can imagine though that if it was more challenging, you might be hitting your head against a wall, jumping in there with a bunch of random people, you know?
Yeah,
So
it's definitely not like
I'll take it.
thing.
I mean, even though it's not LFR, it's basically LFR.
Right. What do you think of it, Goat?
I mean, it was my first time doing it, so I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a new aspect of the game for me, really.
Yeah, I had only played it one time before, and it was, you know, as a transmog run. So that I was just one-shotting everything. So I was like, oh god, this is gonna be tough. But no.
Whenever Guildy's got the mount,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, actually, Mr. E got Mimiron's head, and then Aspen got the Infinite Time Reaver. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yes.
She's not allowed to do those raids with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the last time walking raid we did, she got Ashes of Alar, so I'm noticing a trend with Aspen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rare mount drops. So I'm not sure what the next time walking week is going to be, but we can probably take a look at what the rare mounts are and assume she'll get one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just go ahead and give her a heads up. Be like, oh, by the way, next week,
You're
this is
about
what
to
you'll
have
be
this.
getting. Yeah.
Hey, next week, record your stuff, please.
Okay, besides the raid, we did some heroics, which you might not expect for Golden. If you want to tell us about, you've been doing some monkey business.
I have been doing some funky monkey business, man. So I swapped over to Mistweaver. I'm not that I don't like Shaman. I have enjoyed Resto Shaman. It's what I have the most experience in for doing Mythic Plus. But, well, as a healer, I was tanking. We swapped over, and I think it's been really good with the changes and everybody getting to do different roles. I think it's been a lot of fun. But I want something that feels a little more challenging and kind of lets me DPS and do more maintenance healing while I DPS, because it makes me feel like I'm doing more, you know? And I think I think it helps prevent me from overhealing as well, which I know is really kind of hard. And I've seen a lot of content creators talk about healing and how overhealing has kind of become more commonplace. Like it's harder to kind of stop, I guess. I don't know. There's changes with healers that people have really been asking for. There's been kind of a shift to where the DPS has been more of a focus, it feels like. But I'm really enjoying Mistweaver. I think it's a blast. It's kind of like our group. The reason why I like, oh God, I'm all over the place here. I don't know where to start. But like, I know lately I've seen a lot of content creators talk about how it's kind of, they think it sucks that certain characters have certain benefits, right? And they really wish that other classes and specializations had those same things. But the reality is, I think what makes WoW unique with having these unique different healers and DPS and tanks is that it kind of gives you that freedom of like, what does my group need, right? Mm-hmm. So I think we needed to use Resto Shaman early on, because I've seen that people say, hey, Resto Shaman's really good for pugging, really good for groups that are learning mechanics. But now that our group is kind of progressing and I'm finding myself wanting to do more DPS, and maybe like more just like low key, like the maintenance type healing, AoE healing. I think changing to a different healer is better for our group as we're developing and getting better at this type of stuff. And I like the high mobility because I went from playing Vengeance Demon Hunter Tank, and then I went to a shaman who's like, it feels like I'm a snail. So I like having that high mobility, but no, I'm really happy with it. And I think our group's I think it'll be a big change the more I think we've done one Mythic 0 with me being Mistweaver.
Yeah, we did Neltharis, and that was just a few nights
That was a steamroll though, and that was also because everybody's gear is basically, well above recommended for pushing zeros. So I think it'll be a change, but then I think it'll be really good for us.
No, I think it's really good that you're kind of changing it up because overhealing, I think it's just like with our DPS, it's kind of easy to fall into a hyper focusing on your DPS, and where I think with healers it can kind of be a similar thing where like got to do my like healing rotation, even though I know a lot of healing is kind of supposed to be more triage and kind of assessing the situation, being ready for stuff that's coming. But overhealing kind of sucks when we do need help with other stuff like DPS and things. And I don't know if we should too much pay attention to all the big because a lot of the big streamers are like top tier dudes, and girls, so they're really focused on the meta and getting every little advantage and every little ounce that they can get out of it because they're doing like the hardest content. And obviously we're not there yet, we're still learning and we are getting better and advancing, but I think it's good that not only are we advancing and learning, but you're also recognizing where the Resto Shaman was good as we started, but it's feeling less and less valuable. And also it's just more fun for you too. So it's kind of just a win.
I'm sure we will be just fine no matter what healer, right? As long as we're progressing. It's just, this is a lot more fun. And I like the style of it. And honestly, learning the fights too, learning the boss mechanics definitely helps prevent with overhealing, knowing when to pop shields on people, knowing when to do certain things to mitigate damage. So you're not blowing through all of your cooldowns, right? Before like the big damage comes. And a lot of that comes from everybody learning like, oh, this is what's coming next, right? And everybody aware of their defensives and what utility their own classes have.
Yeah. And the truth also is that as we get better, we should all be taking less and less damage. So you should just by the nature of us playing more, you should be having to heal less and less.
Right.
So I think it's great. I know you've got some experience playing Disc Priest. What do you think of this change, Donnix?
I think it's good. I mean, the monks, the advantage of the monk is the mobility. I mean, especially in so many of these fights where it's really is movement fights. It's high mobility, getting out of stuff, keeping yourself alive. And you're exactly right. The better we get at that, the more DPS that you can put out. And as a monk, even as a healer, you can put out a lot of DPS. So I think all around it's going to be better for our group, especially pushing higher mythics. Because those mechanics are just going to get nastier and nastier.
Yeah. Really good for large pulls, too, with trash mobs, with that spinning crane kick.
Yeah. Well, especially the heal that comes off of that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, we were doing heroics, getting that monk geared up. We did the one Mythic 0. We did Neltharis 0. It wasn't hard at all. I think my paladin's pretty well geared to push, at least 2s, 3s, maybe even. And it's more just us getting the mechanics down and getting ready.
Yep.
So this week's not a time walking week. We don't have to worry about getting everyone together for a time walking raid. So I'm hoping that maybe Friday or Saturday night we can do some, or even any other night during the week, do some hard key pushing if we can.
Absolutely. Oh, really quick though. I only saw it in our group chat, but Goat,
Yes.
I'm hearing that you might be converting to the the Unholy DK, and I was curious if you've been working on that or or you've just been thinking about it. So what's going on?
Well, I've already tried to put it in practical use, but it's just getting used to the actual rotation of it. Like I said, because it's going to be different than just running a Frost DK. So I'm actually going to be paying attention to.
Is he freezing for you guys too?
Yep, he is frozen.
Okay, Goat, you were saying before you froze.
Froze, yes. I say I'm with running the Frost DK. I've gotten so used to just how everything runs in the situations I run into. Running the Unholy is going to be definitely a major change for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, throwing down the assists or the infection on everything, then wait until everybody's enough stacks on them to actually start popping them so they infect the other ones for the big
Oh, the
pools.
wounds.
Yeah, the wounds. That's what it is. I mean, I've played with it, but I haven't gone into it deep enough.
What have you done with it?
Just run around trying to mess with mobs and hitting training targets, trying to see if I could bring the DPS up high enough towards I feel like I'm making a difference.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to bring it to the group until I'm confident enough with it that I'm not going to be making too big of errors.
Go jump in a follower dungeon, man. Tell you what,
yeah.
like I know it's not going to be challenging, but it's going to put you through put you through the steps.
Okay.
And that way you're just playing with NPCs and you can kind of gauge where you're at and learn it, but actually be doing Dragonflight dungeons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you should definitely check that out.
Well, on top of that, just spend some time at the training dummies. Just practicing your rotation over and over and over again.
Now there is one, I think it's the Valdraken one, where it's really not outputting any DPS. I don't know if that's a glitch in it or what's going on.
Oh, the one with like the tiny numbers on the group?
Yeah, the cleave dummies, they're like bugged out.
Okay.
Does it show
I
you
don't
the
know if they
proper
still are
numbers
or not.
in details?
Yes.
Okay.
Does it?
Or, no,
I had thought that the details panel was still showing the right numbers, but just the ones that pop up on screen were small.
I didn't think mine were showing the right numbers.
Yeah, mine weren't in the right numbers. Not on the dummies, no. Everything else, yes.
You could try it on Pandaria Remix because it's the same.
That's true.
It's retail, so you can level one up, fairly quickly and kind of get a feel for it there.
Oh, yeah, learn your rotation through that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think it's actually a good place to do it because let's go ahead and just start talking about Panda Land.
Yeah. I know you guys are excited
Everybody's
about
favorite.
Panda Land.
Also, my thing with that is Panda Land came out, so I kind of like backed off doing the whole DK thing right now because I want to, this is the
Experiment.
one and probably the only opportunity you're going to have to start getting different characters high as possible with minimal effort.
Yeah.
If they keep it, we'll see.
So before we talk about like our general reactions, since we were kind of talking about learning new characters, I made a Vengeance Demon Hunter for Remix, and it's not something I probably wouldn't have made one without the event because I feel like there's a lot less pressure for me because it's kind of wacky numbers and
Don't want to get addicted. We get it.
Everybody's making random characters that they don't know how to play and leveling them. So I was like, whatever, I'll make one. I think it's been really good for learning the rotation and stuff because even just like there's this little spot that we found that you can kind of level up quickly by killing these monkeys that respawn really quickly. And I think it's a really good place for me to learn my rotation because I'm getting really big packs of monkeys to do like giant AoE damage, but they were still hitting me pretty hard. So I had to do my rotation almost perfectly in order to stay alive against the number of monkeys that I was pulling. Pulling lots of monkeys.
Yeah, that's right. It's always pulling monkeys.
But no, it's really fun playing Vengeance Demon Hunter. Like I'm throwing glaives at this pack. What's the like jump and the slam down? I'm doing that. And I'm also, you can blink as a demon hunter. So I'm blinking too. So I'm just like fucking anime running around killing monkeys, hordes of monkeys. Throwing down sigil flames and all kinds of sigils, really. But it's a lot of fun, and I think it's actually a great way to learn your rotation on a different class.
Or to just try out a class that you didn't think you'd want to play, just to see how it is.
Oh, for sure. And then it's kind of just wacky with all the like gems and the, you know, random abilities and stuff that you can get. So I guess we'll kind of just talk about our general reaction to it. Unless you had some questions, Golden, because I know you haven't played it, right?
Yeah, I haven't played it, and I get like I want to, but at the same time, like it's kind of a bummer. I really wish you could play through Panda, through Mists of Pandaria, and then go to end game. Because I would like to get, if I'm going to learn a class, or like, I think our main focus for the most part as a group is obviously have fun, right? Enjoy the game. Mm-hmm. But I know we really want to hit doing plus 15s and Mythic Plus. And so maybe I'm just being way too like goal oriented in this game. But like there's a part of me that doesn't like the idea of me stepping away from learning my monk and learning these Dragonflight dungeons to then like go play a Mistweaver in Pandaria, right? And then not be able to play that character. I get attached to my particular characters. And so like, I'm just kind of torn because I want to be able to do both with one character and invest in one new character. So I don't know. That's just me, man. Like I really want to do it though, because I really want to collect the mounts. I was really bummed that I didn't really get into WoW until WoD. So I joined right after Pandaria. I dabbled like prior to Pandaria, but like I didn't really get into it until WoD.
And I can understand that because and I think that they are going to allow people to bounce from Panda early eventually. That's just, you know, obviously we don't have any kind of insider information here.
Yeah.
But
I got that outsider information.
Yeah. I think they're going to allow, just because you made a really good point where if you spend all this time leveling up these characters, you kind of want to like, well, now I want to do mythics with this character and I can't, and I have to wait until War Within.
Or make a brand new character and level that one.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, what was even the point of doing that? Yeah. So, I mean, that's a good point.
I'm happy about it. Like, I'm glad that they did it. I think it's really cool. So I don't want to like anyone think that I'm like crapping on it. Like, I think it's really cool that they're doing this. I guess I just personally, for me, like, I'm so goal oriented that like it's hard for me to break away from that.
Okay, though, we'll kind of just do our three general reactions to it. So we'll start with you, though, Go, because you're the newest of us. So from a new player's perspective, what do you think of this whole remix?
I'm actually enjoying it.
Yeah,
to be honest. I don't know if it's because it's sort of like everybody's on the same starting plane of, okay, we have to grind it now. For example, like I made it to level 25. What was it, last night? So we can start doing the LFRs and actually gaining at a faster rate of speed.
Oh yeah,
nice. But kind of like how y'all were saying, like it's kind of like you can try something now and not. It doesn't matter if it works or not. Like
yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
That you really want to do, and then you after you get your cloak leveled all the way up, you can kind of just do what you want, mess around.
I mean, that's true, because you could always just. It's not quite what I thought it was going to be. As far as the infinite cloak, and because I was really looking at this event as let's get a bunch of cool transmog and let's level alts very quickly.
Yes. And
you can still level pretty quick, but it's not what it was in the PTR where the cloak is, 1-to-1 across all your alts and you're just starting off with like 300% XP boost on each character you make. It's like limited by these achievements, so you have to get the infinite cloak 12 achievement or something like that, right, Donnix? I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, it's infinite power 12.
Yeah, and all that this does is, I've actually got the numbers right here. Ooh, so each new alt, once you have this achievement, which does take a minute. You have to get like 4,200 threads on your, one character. Once you've done that, an alt's max stat boost or their max cloak will start with 150 to either agility, intellect, or strength, depending on the character and, spec and class. 750 stamina and 150 versatility. Everything else starts at 0. So it's definitely not as fast as I think we were led to believe it was going to be. Especially with their kind of advertising of like overpowered, maybe fun, definitely. It's like I don't quite feel overpowered in any way, really.
But I mean, do you understand how overpowered a level 10 with 150 of their main stat is?
Yes, that is a strong start. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like you can go into a dungeon with level 60s and be out DPSing them at level 10.
Yeah. And that also is a little bit of a problem with the scaling. Yes. Like, I don't feel like that should be the case where the level 10 is like fucking slamming. And then
that's pretty funny.
The level 70s are like, oh God, don't
save us, level 10s.
But it's not so much like the power boost isn't enough for me, really, as much as I wanted those really fat XP gains. I wanted to level fucking fast on a bunch of characters. And I understand if it was set up to where it takes time to get there and you have to do like after multiple characters, you reach that 300% or whatever. And then, so you do have to put some work to get it. But as it stands now, you've kind of got to, start with 100% XP. So it is double XP to start, but you do have to kind of have a slow leveling process before you can really boost it up. So, I mean, I was kind of bummed about that, but I'm not trying to be negative because overall I am enjoying it and it's fun. I never played through Mists of Pandaria. I don't have like any of the transmogs or mounts from this shit. So, and then like I said, I made a fucking Vengeance Demon Hunter and it's awesome.
Who could have guessed?
I haven't been like having someone whisper in my ear for
not at all. Not at all. Never. I would never try to influence any decision making in this game for you.
No peer pressure.
Bad influence.
Nope. Yeah. But I do get why people have complaints about Demon Hunter, but damn, I don't know what Blizzard can do that won't just totally tank the fun out of playing that class. You know what I mean? That makes people feel like it's a more even playing field because
don't say that because I'll find a way.
I mean, I hope so.
I mean,
I hope they find a way.
I feel like they could take a little bit of strength away from it. It would still be fun just because it's so, like I said, it's almost like fucking anime where you're like, zoom,
it's
zoom,
so
zoom,
interactive. It's so interactive. You feel like you get to do so much. It feels like you have so much control over the fights, and that's what you want as a tank. So,
but yeah, overall, I like it. I do have some gripes, I would like to feel more overpowered. I would like to level faster. The fucking upgrading your gear with bronze is ridiculously expensive.
Oh, explain that actually, because I know that's the system, but I haven't like done it, so I have no idea.
So there's only one currency and it's bronze. You use the same currency to get all the transmog, all the mounts, all the toys, besides stuff that you get from achievements, which there is a few of those. And you get bronze from nearly everything you do in small amounts, but you do not make nearly enough to be able to get, which, I mean, it might be kind of a big ask to like, I want to buy everything and be the strongest there is in like 24 hours or I fucking quit. So I understand that there has to be a little bit of a grind, but I've seen some people doing math and they're like, if you didn't kill these fucking frogs before they nerfed them, you have to grind for like 300 hours if you want to get everything and be able to play a level 70 character without getting your ass blasted.
That's
Because
the big thing is that skill curve or the level curve. It's still a little ridiculous.
Yeah, and I know that they said they're kind of going to mess with the scaling a bit, but the cloak does not provide the majority of your like stats. It does give you a little bit of a buff, but the main thing you're meant to do is actually to spend bronze to upgrade your gear, because you can get up to like eye level like 500 something, and the prices of these upgrades as you get higher up, there's like 36 tiers or some shit.
Yeah,
it's like you can upgrade it from 1 to 36, but as you get towards the end, it's ridiculous. It's like 9,000, 16,000.
Wow.
It gets crazy.
The last tier was, I might be totally wrong, but I thought I saw something on YouTube where it was like 40 something thousand bronze.
Yeah, and that's more than like the most expensive mounts that you can get, because those are like 38k, I think.
Jesus.
So yeah, you're gonna need a lot of fucking bronze, and you're gonna have to make some choices. And I understand I can't expect to get everything, but it does feel a little bit much, especially when they are any good bronze farm, they are nerfing immediately. There was this crazy, the frog one I think was too much, because people were getting like extremely powerful.
Yeah.
And they nerfed that. Me and Donnix found some goats you can kill, which wasn't even like a crazy farm. It was kind of meager returns, but it was a farm. Yep.
Killing.
Too bad you weren't on killing the goats. They nerfed the goats already. We found a spot where you can kill a bunch of monkeys. Not a super great bronze farm, but a good spot to level up, I would say.
I don't know about that, man. I got a lot of bronze right now.
Do you?
Yeah.
How much bronze you got?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's rhetorical. I don't give
49,000
bronze. Yeah. Damn, you got 49,000.
And when we first started this, I had 32,000.
Well, I guess that's a pretty decent farm.
I saw a short on YouTube about killing turtles, like a place to go do basically like what you guys are talking about, but it was like turtles, I think, or something like that, or maybe it was frogs.
Are you watching Mario?
I can't remember. No.
No, it was the frogs.
Okay, yeah, it was frogs, not turtles. Sorry, I was close.
There's YouTube videos of people that did that and basically going through and being able to solo heroics raids. Just ridiculous.
Jesus, and then people have shared the details meters, and it's like a bunch of little ones, and then one person's like off the charts, like carrying the entire raid, one-shotting the bosses, and that's just from killing frogs for I don't know how long they did it for, but
it's a lot of
clearly it worked out for them.
Well, and like even yesterday, Bean and I were doing heroic scenarios, and we just there's a couple guys that we got into a group with that was just absolutely one shot and everything. And we were, I mean, decent enough geared. We weren't obviously where they were at, but yeah, it was. Damn. It gets nutty, man.
Yeah, the scaling overall kind of a mess.
Overall, you guys enjoyed it though.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed it. Donnix, if you want to give your whole piece on it, I think I've kind of covered everything that I think about it.
Yeah, man. So I went through all of Mists of Pandaria, leveled through it back when it came out. And I was one of the few people, well, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of 50-50. I did not like Mist. I didn't. I don't like the
pandas.
Well, I don't like the pandas, but no, it's just, it's such a different aesthetic from all the rest of the game that it makes it feel weird when you're there. And it's not really my bag. I didn't think the gear looked great. It had kind of a cool story, but it just wasn't really that enjoyable for me. And going through it now with the way that they've made the changes and really making it feel like kind of a different game, I've been having a blast. Blizzard, it's hard for me to talk shit about anything that Blizzard does that's unique, because for the longest time we just got what we got, and if we didn't like it, don't play. So I mean, yeah, we're not leveling as fast as before and all that stuff, but it's new. It's like something good that they came out with, and yeah, that has its quirks and it has its issues, but I mean, shit, this is a hell of a try for something new for them.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Right. I can definitely
chances.
see them going, taking this, learning some lessons from it, and, maybe turning it into involving it some way in the leveling in the actual retail of the game. Yeah. Maybe it could be like a new form of Chromie time. Probably not as, wacky as this, but they could take ideas from it, right?
And I wouldn't be surprised if moving more towards the end of this event, if they didn't start over tuning it to make it to where people, okay, cool, let's get those last couple classes you want before the new expansion comes out. Let's bust them out. Here's now you get this much more XP per an alt or something like that. The way that they're tuning it, it seems like they're being real responsive to what people are saying, but they don't want to overtune it right away. So they're gonna ease it and give us a little bit more, because they also don't want you to all of a sudden level every class to 70, and then what are you going to do?
Yeah, and that's fair too, because everyone always has like super reactionary. Here I am like bitching about it's not enough bronze, and it's like it's been out since Thursday.
Yeah,
not even a week it's been out, and I'm already like, fucking Blizzard.
This game.
But yeah, I fully expect them to, over time, over the course of the event, to kind of similar to Plunderstorm, where like we're doubling XP, everyone get in here, type shit. So maybe at that point it might be more attractive to you, Golden.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Do we have anything else?
Actually, I have one thing, because God, can we talk about the last hurrah in the annoying way? What's your feelings, hell? Well, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I don't mind doing the quests, right? But my problem is that, right, we all don't have time to be doing like everything in the game, right? Like we can't run pick a night and do like 4 mythics every night, or you know what I mean, like do things that we could do when where our time is just not there, right? But like, man, you can't make these quests easy to like get into. Like it's killing me that these are not like typical world quests, right? You show up and you can see other people completing the world quest, but it's your individual progress, right? But it's like they made it server wide or shard, right? Whatever it is, the shards. So anyone on that shard completing it, everyone's progress counts. But yet they still keep the same progress notification method as if it were a typical world quest, where it's like it pops up and it's like, you've got 2 hours to do this. Mm-hmm. Well, no, you don't, because it was done in 5 minutes. And so it's false information in the game, and you go to that place and it's no longer there, even though the game says you've got another hour to get it done. So they either need to change it to solo progression, or change the way they identify it on the map to where it shows the progress of it, so you know whether or not you need to waste your time going to that zone just to find out it's not happening. And it just drives me nuts, man. Or throw an icon up all the time that lets people know, like, oh, in 40 minutes, just like a Super Bloom, right? Even the Super Bloom was on the hour. You could always mouse, couldn't you? You could mouse over it and it would tell you, like, it'll be in 40 minutes or something like that. Or you knew it was every hour.
it'll usually be in that spot.
Right.
Yeah.
Once it gets completed, I think it goes away for a little bit and then pops back up in its normal place.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good point, because it's really annoying when you're trying to get it done and you see that notification like, oh, you have 40 minutes to complete this, and like, no, you don't. You're not going to be able to do this for like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my rant.
There you go, guys.
Rant.
Golden
It's a
spits.
legit rant. That's I don't know if it's because people are finishing the event too fast, and then so the game still thinks it's going on, but maybe it's not. I don't know. It's weird because I ran into it with the hunt, and I ran into it with the siege of
Dragonbane Keep or whatever.
Yeah, Dragonbane Keep. That one's the worst. I got lucky in catching it early, and I caught it on accident. But if you try to catch that on the timer, half the time it's already done.
Yeah, that one's annoying because it's every 2 hours. So if you miss it, it's like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to do this for a while. And then if you miss it the second time, it's like, well, I guess I'm just not going to ever do this. I guess Golden's just going to have a hard time every once in a while since he plays Demon Hunter and everything else is so easy for him.
I don't play Demon Hunter anymore.
It's still
That's
there.
true now. It's still inside
He's
you.
waiting in the wings.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Monk's pretty mobile. Not Demon Hunter
Monk's
mobile,
awesome.
but...
No.
Real quick, shout out to everyone that has been in the streams and in the chat and stuff. Really appreciate you guys. Shane Meyer, Blackstone Plainview, CK, Balonzo. And we had a Steve. I don't remember the last name. There was a Steve in the chat at one point too. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Yep. Stream on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Friday and Saturday nights. I'm actually thinking about stopping our stream on Facebook just because almost no one interacts with that one. Also, we have a Discord, and I'm going to try and actually start talking in it more. We actually communicate a lot through Messenger, so our Discord kind of just looks like it's dead. So I'm going to start actually trying to communicate, unless it's like channel specific behind the scenes stuff. I'm going to try and chat through Discord a little bit more often, so we can get you guys that are joining the Discord involved with some conversations and stuff. But that's the podcast, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, help support the What's My Role channel. Find us on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, IG, Facebook as What's My Role or What's My Role MMO. We play in the Mirrodin realm on the Alliance side. If you want to apply to join the guild, the Mythic Mafia, just join the Discord and introduce yourself. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.